Today, I want to talk about the crazy short squeeze that just ran over 800% in one single day. I want to explain what caused this short squeeze, but also how it was our fast-moving momentum news play of the day in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, that stock squeezing was VVOS or Vivos Therapeutics. You can see at one point a few years ago, it was over $360 per share. Since then, the price has been manipulated down, lower and lower and lower and lower. During this multi-year period of manipulation, we've likely seen a significant amount of synthetic shares in VVOS being created, similarly to AMC, GameStop and other stocks. Until yesterday, it ran over 800% in one single day, from around $5 per share to its peak of around $48. But so what exactly caused that short squeeze? What caused that dramatic increase in price? What catalyst caused the squeeze? And how could that be applied to AMC, GameStop and other stocks? Well, yesterday, Vivos Therapeutics received first ever FDA clearance for a treatment of sleep apnea. So the FDA is the Food and Drug Administration, or basically the regulatory body that approves new medicines, foods and drugs. So they received regulatory approval for their main business practice, which is the creation or the treatment of sleep apnea. And not only did they receive FDA approval, they received the first ever FDA approval for this specific kind of treatment. So you can see not only is that a big news catalyst, but it's potentially a once-in-a-lifetime news catalyst that caused a massive surge of volatility, momentum and volume and interest. Saying the medical technology firm said with the unprecedented FDA clearance, Vivos redefines what it means to have a truly non-invasive treatment for sleep apnea. And this achievement is a pivotal milestone for Vivos and elevates our proven treatment options right now into the mainstream of sleep medicine. So this has completely transformed Vivos Therapeutics' business and will now lead them into the path to revenue and profit creation. Basically, it's going to make them profitable, it's going to give them cash flow, it's going to expand their revenue and expand their business. Now, I also know of another company that's expanding its revenues, profits, cash flow and overall business, not just showing films, but diversifying into theatrical distribution. But so let's also talk more about why Vivos Therapeutics actually ran. What did we see in the pre-market and what happened during the market hours that caused this massive price explosion? Where you can see in the early hours of the pre-market, the price ran up to around $9. It pulled back a little bit into this accumulation zone, pushed up a little bit more, pulling back again for more accumulation. This was a great area for retail investors, for day traders, and for smaller institutions that want to destroy those short hedge funds to accumulate and buy up tons and tons of shares. You can also see that during this accumulation period, the volume was steadily increasing, suggesting that more retail investors, more day traders, and more small institutions were buying into that stock. And this is also, as I say, where we called it in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group. I alerted the group saying VVOS is coming onto the scanner because they've just received FDA approval and set that nice pre-market high here at $9.73. We can then see the price continue to push up with a further accumulation zone where more and more retail investors continue to buy in. And then you got that explosion over the pre-market high, pushing the stock upwards higher and higher and higher all day long. I even alerted a second time saying Vivos had a little pop to $13.90, but has then pulled back again, watching this $13.90 area as the next breakout zone. So that way, even if you're busy, you can still jump on these plays later in the day for the second push upwards, or the third, or the fourth. As I said, this was great for the group, and Icon first locked in a 20% profit, left some shares to ride, but also double dipped and bought again for another 20% gains. But so let's also talk about how Vivos Therapeutics also likely has a significant amount of synthetic shares as well, from all that manipulation over the last couple of years. Now, what really pointed out for me is the fact that Vivos Therapeutics has a very small market cap of around $50 million and only has 1.2 million shares of shares outstanding. That means they've got 1.2 million shares in the entire float, or 1.2 million shares outstanding. I imagine many of those are held by institutions, ETFs and retail investors too. And yesterday alone, we didn't just see half the float trading or a quarter of the float trading or even the whole float trading one time over. We actually saw volume of 35.6 million shares. So that means the entire float of Vivos Therapeutics was traded around 35 times in one singular day. As Edward Burchak pointed out, he said Vivos Therapeutics has already traded 40 times its entire float just today. That was the data from Webull that actually showed 42 million shares traded and not 36 million shares traded. Now, to me, that's crazy for two reasons. A, they've had 40 times their entire float traded in one day, and also the fact that multiple different data providers are telling you different details on how many shares are traded. CNBC is saying, guys, there was only 35 million shares traded, but Webull is showing 42 million. Again, it seems these trading platforms, data providers and brokers can't even get the same numbers correct. Anyway, Edward added saying the current volume is 42.2 million shares already, but they've only got 1.2 million shares outstanding. You're witnessing a crime scene. Today is the last day of the Thanksgiving sale, which basically means when the December billing period comes around, I'll refund that December billing, so once you've joined, you won't have anything extra to pay until January. We've already had another brilliant day today in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group, this time with MIMN. JJ locked in over $400 of profit, Lala Solara got a 53.4% gain, and Lisa locked in an entire $1 profit per share on MINM. MINM is having a very similar setup in the pre-market, and I first alerted it here for the break of $2.36. I alerted it again for the break of $4.60, and I alerted it a third time for the break of $7.76. As I said, not only did we alert once, not twice, but 3 times as well, and the group is so far absolutely killing it. So if you guys want to be making hundreds of dollars per day like JJ, or even thousands of dollars per day like S to the P, be sure to join the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group linked in the description below. And I would absolutely agree, over the last couple of years, Vivos Therapeutics has been a massive crime scene, being manipulated down from $360 per share to below $10 per share, around $4 per share at some points. But even though Vivos Therapeutics has been manipulated down, those short sellers still couldn't stop it. Not only have they received the first ever FDA approval for their treatment of sleep apnea, but their stock is now experiencing a short squeeze. Would I buy Vivos Therapeutics right now today? Well, that one's hard to answer. Yes, it's experienced a short squeeze yesterday, but we don't have full confirmation yet if this is a proper short squeeze or the mother of all short squeezes, and if Vivos Therapeutics will be setting new all-time highs. Confirmation is something I spoke about in my video a few days ago, and it's also something I speak about a lot of in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group. Either way, everyone here knows of one stock that hasn't yet experienced a short squeeze and has tons and tons of catalysts all lining up. Now, obviously, I can't tell you to buy shares in companies like AMC, GameStop or others, but what I can tell you is the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group could help you earn additional cash to buy even more shares if you wanted to. And ultimately, I see a lot of similarities between VVOS and AMC, with both the manipulation over the years and the positive catalysts all lining up. Hopefully there's some kind of catalyst or market crash which impacts AMC the same way VVOS has been impacted, causing the mother of all short squeezes. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.